Los Angeles, Little Tokyo, sushi restaurant at 11:45 p.m., Friday, August 1989. The last customer has just left. The chairs are already up on the tables. Chef Takeshi wipes down the sushi counter, scrubbing the wooden bar with a damp cloth, the smell of ginger and wasabi still lingering in the air. His daughter Yuki, 19 years old, is counting the cash from the register at the corner table. 1,147. Good night. She places the bills into a bank deposit envelope and secures it with a clip. Benny. Urquidez sits on the last stool at the counter finishing a bowl of miso soup. He comes here every Friday after training. A 5-year ritual. Takeshi is a friend. Yuki grew up in front of him. He watched her graduate high school, start college, begin working at her father's restaurant. Benny is 37, undefeated kickboxing world champion, 63 wins with no losses. But here he is, just Benny, the quiet guy who eats sushi, always pays in cash, leaves a generous tip, and helps put the chairs down if he has time. The front door bursts open violently. 3 men enter. The first is short black leather jacket, thick gold chain around his neck, hair slicked with too much gel, the kind of guy who tries to look more dangerous than he actually is. The other 2 are pure muscle, tank tops revealing prison tattoos on their arms, blank expressions of people who learned to switch off empathy long ago. But it's the 4th man who matters. He enters last, closes the door behind him, flips the open sign to closed, and locks it. This is Vincent Castellano, nephew of the West Coast boss, 32 years old, 6'1", expensive gray suit, hair slicked back, family signet ring on his pinky, and a 20-centimeter hunting knife sheathed at his belt. Vincent is no ordinary soldier. He's an enforcer, the man the family sends when they need a permanent message delivered. 11 people have disappeared after conversations with Vincent Castellano. No bodies ever found. He is methodical, patient, and enjoys the work. Takeshi freezes behind the counter, hand still holding the cleaning rag. Yuki stops counting money. The envelope slips from her hand. Benny doesn't move, still holding the bowl, but his eyes have already assessed everything. 4 men. 1 locked the door. Distances, angles, visible weapons. Vincent walks slowly to the center of the restaurant. Italian shoes clicking on the wooden floor. Voice soft, almost polite. Takeshi-san, you know why I'm here. Not a question. A statement. Takeshi. Swallows hard. Nods. I pay on Monday, I promised Tony. Monday morning, first thing. Vincent smiles. The kind of smile that never reaches the eyes. Tony doesn't work for us anymore. I work for us now. And I don't accept Monday promises. I accept Friday cash. He looks at Yuki at the envelope on the table. That envelope looks comfortable. How much is in there? Yuki doesn't answer. Takeshi speaks quickly. That's the bank deposit. Supplier payments, payroll, I can't. Vincent raises a hand. Instant silence. You owe the Gambino family $8 grand. 3 months interest, unpaid protection, money you borrowed to renovate this dump. 8,000. I see you have cash in the envelope. So hand me the envelope cash, plus your car keys, plus your dead wife's wedding ring you wear on that stupid chain around your neck, and maybe, just maybe, I'll consider that a partial payment. Benny sets the bowl down on the counter slowly. Voice calm, conversational. Takeshi doesn't owe you anything. Vincent turns, truly noticing Benny for the first time. He had ignored him earlier because Benny looked small, ordinary, irrelevant. Sweatpants, gray t-shirt, training sneakers. Just another customer. Vincent tilts his head. Sorry, was I talking to you? Benny. You weren't, but you are now. Takeshi is an honest businessman. Paid protection on time for 4 years. Borrowed when the roof leaked. Paid 3 installments on schedule. Tony said he could pay the rest over 6 months. You changed the terms without notice. Vincent laughs, looks at the 3 men. They all laugh together. Look at this, we got a lawyer here. You know the fucking loan terms. Who are you, the accountant? Benny. A friend. Vincent stops laughing. Friend, how sweet. Friendship doesn't pay debts. Money pays debts, or blood. Usually both. Benny slides off the stool and stands. 5'7", 154 pounds. Vincent has 6 inches and 45 pounds on him. The 2 goons have even more. The short guy in the leather jacket slips his hand inside his jacket. The outline of a gun is visible. Vincent takes 2 steps toward Benny. Friend, you seem smart. Smart enough to know when to sit down, shut up, and let the grown-ups handle grown-up business. Benny doesn't move. Takeshi closes in 10 minutes. You can come back Monday with Tony, negotiate properly, or you can leave now. Vincent stops, processes what he just heard. No one speaks to Vincent Castellano like this, especially not a short Asian guy in an empty restaurant at 11:45 p.m. The smile vanishes from Vincent's face. His hand goes to his belt, draws the hunting knife. The blade gleams under the fluorescent light. He holds it correctly, not like an amateur, blade forward, tip up, ready to slash or gut. Vincent has stabbed 7 people. He knows exactly how to grip, where to cut, how much pressure to apply. He advances, closes the distance in 2 steps, stops 12 inches from Benny, points the blade directly at the center of Benny's chest, right where the heart beats. Voice low, venomous. Last chance, hero. Sit, now, or I put this in your chest and watch you drown in your own blood while Takeshi and his daughter watch. Yuki screams. No, please. Takeshi starts moving from behind the counter, but one of the goons shoves him back. Vincent keeps the knife pointed at Benny, eyes locked, waiting for fear, waiting for retreat, waiting for begging. Benny gives none. He just looks at Vincent, looks at the knife, looks back at Vincent. Then it happens. 2 seconds that change everything. First second, Benny's left hand moves. Not backward, not to the side, but forward, directly toward the blade, a motion that violates every human self-preservation instinct. The hand moves at an angle. It doesn't grab the blade, it seizes Vincent's wrist from above. Benny's thumb pressing the inner wrist where nerves run shallow, the other 4 fingers wrapping the outer side. The grip isn't strong, it's precise. It squeezes specific nerve. Points. Sharp pain shoots up Vincent's arm. Simultaneously, Benny's right hand strikes the inside of Vincent's elbow, that soft spot where the arm bends. 2 opposing forces. Wrist pulled down and out, elbow pushed up and in. Vincent's arm cannot maintain tension. The structure collapses. Tendons were never designed to resist torque in 2 directions at once. The knife, which was aimed at Benny's chest, now points at the floor. Vincent's wrist twisting involuntarily. Second. Benny twists. Harder. A fast 180-degree rotation of Vincent's wrist, a movement he has practiced 10,000 times in knife defense drills, each repetition building muscle memory until it becomes automatic. Vincent's fingers open. Neurological response, not choice. When the wrist nerves scream in agony, fingers cannot hold. The knife drops. It hits the wooden floor with a loud metallic clang that echoes in the silent restaurant, spins twice, and stops at Benny's feet. 2 seconds. Weapon aimed at Benny's heart. 2 seconds later. Weapon on the floor. Vincent staggers back, clutching his wrist with his other hand, eyes wide. Half pain, half utter disbelief. He looks at the knife on the floor, at Benny, at his own hand that failed to hold the weapon. It doesn't compute. He's bigger, heavier, had the knife, had every advantage. The 3 men behind him freeze. The short guy pulls his gun from the jacket, a .38 special, but doesn't know where to point it. Benny crouches, picks up the knife by the blade and offers the handle to Vincent. Voice still calm. Take your knife. Leave. Come back Monday with Tony. Negotiate properly. Vincent doesn't take the knife. Pride shattered, ego destroyed in front of his men, in front of himself. He growls, "You know who I am?" Benny, "I do. Vincent Castellano, nephew of the boss, enforcer, 11 disappearances in the last 3 years. I know the reputation." Vincent, "Then you know what happens to people who disrespect me." Benny, "And you now know. What happens when you try to stab me? You had a knife pointed at my heart. Now it's on the floor. Took 2 seconds. Think about what that means." Vincent processes it, his brain still trying to understand the mechanics of what just happened. Benny continues, "You can escalate this. You can come back with more men, more guns. You can try to find me, hurt me, but you'll discover I'm not a scared shopkeeper. I'm someone who trains for this every day of my life. So ask yourself, is it worth it? For $8,000 and a bruised ego?" Silence in the restaurant. The wall clock reads 11:52. Vincent looks at his men, at the knife still in Benny's hand, at Takeshi and Yuki watching in silence. A calculation occurs. He can escalate, bring war, but this small guy just disarmed him in 2 seconds. What else can he do? Finally, Vincent speaks, voice tight. Takeshi pays Monday, full amount. No Tony, with me. Benny nods. Reasonable. Vincent points at Benny. You and I aren't finished. Benny, we're finished if you want to be finished, or we can keep going. Your choice. Vincent mutters something in Italian, turns, walks to the door. The 3 men follow. The short guy holsters his gun. They unlock the door, exit, and the door slams shut. Silence. Takeshi takes a deep breath, legs nearly giving out. Yuki runs to her father. Benny places the knife on the counter, returns to his stool, picks up the now cold bowl of soup. Takeshi speaks, voice shaking. Benny, you saved our lives. Benny, I saved a bad situation from becoming worse. Vincent will think about this over the weekend. Monday he'll come back calmer, or he won't come back. Yuki, how did you do that? He had a knife at your chest. Benny, training. 2 seconds seems fast, but when you practice disarms 1,000 times, 2 seconds is an eternity. You see the motion begin. You already know how it ends. You're already 3 steps ahead. Takeshi, weren't you afraid? Benny, fear is always there, but fear doesn't control action when the action has been trained until it becomes instinct. Benny finishes the cold soup, leaves $50 on the counter, far more than the bill. Same time tomorrow? Takeshi laughs, still shaky, and nods. Benny walks out the door. The warm Los Angeles night swallows him. Takeshi stares at the knife on the counter. Yuki stares at the money envelope still on the table. 2 seconds changed everything. Not because Benny humiliated Vincent, but because he showed that violence. Threats, weapons. None of it guarantees the outcome when knowledge meets preparation. On Monday, Vincent doesn't return. Tony does. He apologizes, renegotiates the terms, accepts payment over 6 months as originally promised. He heard what happened. Everyone heard. And no one wants 2 seconds with the quiet guy who eats sushi.